Hey, what's up, everybody? We are teeing off at Apps Island Golf Course today. We got a 330-yard par 4 to start out. My driver has kind of been all over the place. I pulled this one a little bit to the right, just a slight fade on it. I have been struggling with the fact that my driver normally slices, but recently when I've been hitting, I have been drawing some. So I'm just working on my club face path, and so we ended up having a nice little chip here. I've been finding out that my approach wedge has been the most consistent wedge in my bag, whether that be close or far when I'm chipping. I have just felt way more consistent with that, and I don't feel like I scold as much. So we have a birdie putt here. I thought I read it perfectly, but it just barely hit the lip on the right, which is fine. We'll settle for a par. This was by far one of the best rounds that I've played as of recent. I've been really working on trying not to three putt, trying to get myself into the safe zone for putting so I can work on my two putts. As you can tell, I'm a big boy, so just being out there and trying to lose weight and learn how to golf has been really fun as of recent. This is one of the coolest holes on the entire course. It hit down into like this little bit of a shallower spot that when it's clear out, you can see Mount Rainier from over here, just across a lake. I ended up pushing this it was a pretty odd shot. I hit my 8-iron and it pushed over to the right, so I had to just get out into the fairway, get myself into a spot that I could putt. Now, unfortunately, this ball would have been perfect for the yellow and white flag, but we are playing blue and red on this front nine. This putt, I elected to maybe go for a little bit more of an aggressive play, but it did pan out. Put myself into a spot that I could hit the shorter putt and sink this for our first bogey. I will say with that lie, I'm not angry at all. It could have got stuck up on the fringe there. It could have rolled out earlier. We head over to our first par 3, and I hit another perfect shot for the yellow and white tee. I don't know what it is about playing on this course. So it's just a 9-hole course. You play the front 9 at one set of the tees, and then your back 9 you play at a different set. So it kind of changes it up a little bit. But once again, I hit a perfect shot for the white and yellow tee, which seemed to be consistently what I do on this course. But I am in the market for a new putter. I was getting a lab putter, and I got fitted and all that, and then I took this out, and I just felt like I had great feel with it. Like, my putting is definitely not a strong suit of mine, but when I use this putter, for some reason, something about it feels good. So we go ahead and tap in this par here, heading to hole 4. This was by far the best drive of the day for myself. I crushed this thing. I thought that they were a bit further out. I actually drove over the cart on the far right there. I am working on my depth perception on the golf ball and just how far it is actually going, but we put ourselves, I want to say, about 70 yards out here. And then we once again hit the approach wedge, just trying to get it close, give myself a chance at a birdie putt, which we actually did have a birdie putt here. And not often can I say that, but we ended up knocking this one in for a birdie. As you can see, my girlfriend in the background, she's working on her golf game. It's awesome to get out there with her, and she's got the itch for golfing, which is cool. She's realizing just how expensive golf can be, though. So this is our first par 5 of the day, and there's a lot of background noise. I was probably not super focused, and so I think I pulled my head a little early. Not the worst of hits here. We could have put ourselves in a really bad spot, so we went ahead, took our 3-wood out, trying to get it as close up to the green as we can. It came out a little bit more slicey than I wanted to, so we're going to end up on the right side of the fairway over there. And I have a tendency to find the biggest, tallest trees on the course and put myself right behind it. Now, I could have punched around, but the hole was right behind the tree, so I know that I can get up over tall stuff like that. I ended up getting myself into a pretty good spot. I also could have maybe just punched around so I didn't have to worry about the tree hazard. That could have been a terrible play in my part, but I ended up getting over. This one rolled out on me a little bit. I've been working on my chips close like that, deciding whether bump and run and or a chip is better for me. But I left this right off the face. I knew that this putt just didn't feel right. It felt like I just left it short. So we go ahead and grab ourselves our second bogey of the day. But with the birdie on hole 4, we are only +1. I actually now am remembering this is by far the best drive of the day. It was dead straight, middle of the fairway. I couldn't have asked for a better drive. The kids that let us play through behind were now behind me there, and they were loving that shot. So that hyped me up a little bit. Get ourselves a nice little chip onto the green. Try for another birdie putt here. I thought it was going to roll out a little bit better, but one thing I am trying to work on is reading the greens. I normally would set myself up here to be pretty short. I'm trying to get over the fear of maybe pushing the ball past it. So we ended up knocking that in for a par, and this was tragic. This is the closest I think I've ever been to a hole-in-one. It landed, had some crazy spin, and went right past the pin. I'm sorry about the quality of this. That's just as good a quality as I can get at that zoom. But you guys can see my divot here. I mean, it was a great. It's one of those shots that just that made me realize I'm going to play another 100 rounds. So in the chase for that hole-in-one and an eagle still. This putt was kind of terrible. I'm not going to lie. I do struggle with understanding how to putt when I'm on the fringe like that. Because normally I would take my wedge out there, but then I'd chunk it and stuff. So we end up still getting a par, not bad. As we head into hole 8, we had quite a bit of a slice on this one, but it did actually end up panning out all right with the lie where we were. We had a good opening to the flag. Now, if we were hitting at the white and yellow flags, this would have been a bad shot, but luckily we're on the far right, and we get ourselves onto the green for a birdie putt. I mean, this is probably the most chances at birdie putts I've had. Now we got to start knocking them down. Sorry, not knocking them out. I want to knock myself out after seeing what happens here, but we end up just short and a truly tragic birdie, but we end up with a par. I can't hate on that. I'll take a par any day. I'm trying to train myself mentally to be okay with just even bogeys. But as we head out to the 9th hole, it's getting very dark. Another drive where it just started to slice on me, and this is where I'm struggling because it's kind of hit or miss on whether I draw it or slice now. So I'm struggling with that. But we have a terrible chip here, end up in the drink. So now we're hitting for 4. At this point, I'm surprised the camera is showing it as light as it is because it was way darker than that. But after our terrible error, we ended up shooting this one to a pretty decent spot. And then we go ahead and miss this putt and sink it for bogey. Ended up +3 for the day. I do think that last hole, if it was lighter out, we could have maybe had a better set of results. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed that round of golf with me, and I look forward to making more rounds with you guys. So if you guys could, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and comment down below if you guys got any tips or tricks on maybe some stuff I should try. And I will see you guys on the next one.